Evening, my little angel. Summer has arrived. Will my love be playing with friends this summer? What will you say? What games will you play when you're together? In today's chapter, Pippi sits with Thomas and Annika on a summer day. And what do they talk about? Let us listen together. Pippi sits on the gate and climbs a tree. Part 1. Outside Villa Cola sat Pippi, Thomas and Annika. Pippi sat on one gate post, Annika on the other, and Thomas sat on the gate. It was a warm and beautiful day toward the end of August. A pear tree that grew close to the fence stretched its branches so low down that the children could sit and pick the best little red gold pears without any trouble at all. They munched and ate and spit pear cores out onto the road. Villa Cola stood just the edge of the little town where the street turned into a country road. The people in the little town loved to go walking out Villa Cola way, for the country out there was so beautiful. As the children were sitting there eating pears, a girl came walking along the road from town. When she saw the children, she stopped and asked, "Have you seen my papa go by?" Said Pippi. "How did he look? Did he have blue eyes?" "Yes," said the girl. "Medium large, not too tall and not too short." Yes, said the girl again. "Black hat and black shoes?" "Yes, exactly," said the girl eagerly. "No, that one we haven't seen," said Pippi decidedly. The girl looked crestfallen and went off without a word. "Wait a minute," shrieked Pippi after her. "Was he bald-headed?" "No, certainly was not," said the girl crossly. "Lucky for him," said Pippi and spit out a pear core. The girl hurried away. But then Pippi shouted, "Did he have big ears that reached way down to his shoulders?" "No," said the girl and turned and came running back in amazement. "You don't mean you say that you have seen a man walked by with such big ears?" "I haven't seen anyone who walked with his ears," said Pippi. "All the people I know walked with their feet." "Oh, don't be silly. I mean, have you really seen a man who has such big ears?" "No," said Pippi. "There isn't anybody with such big ears. It could be ridiculous. How good they looked. It isn't possible to have such big ears. At least not in this country," she added after a thoughtful pause. "Of course, in China, it's a little different. I once saw a Chinese in Shanghai. His ears were so big that he could use them for a cape. When it rained, he just crawled in under his ears and was as warm and snug as you please. Of course, his ears didn't have it so good. If it was very bad weather, he used to invite his friends to come under his ears. There they sat and sang sad songs while the rain poured down. They liked him a lot because of his ears. His name was Haishang. You should have seen Haishang running to work in the morning. He always come dashing in at the last minute because he loved to sleep late. And you can't imagine how funny he looked, rushing in with his ears flying behind him like two big golden cells." The girl had stopped and stood open-mouthed, listening to Pippi. And Thomas and Annika forgot to eat any more pears. They were so utterly absorbed in the story. He had more children than he could count, and the littlest was called Peter, said Pippi. "Oh, but a Chinese baby can't be called Peter," interrupted Thomas. "That's just what his wife said to him. A Chinese baby can't be called Peter." But Haishang was dreadfully stubborn, And he said that the baby should be called Peter or nothing. And then he sat down in a corner and pulled his ears over his head and howled. And his poor wife had to give in, of course, and the kid was called Peter. Really? Said Annika. It was the hatefulest kid in all Shanghai, continued Pippi, fussy about his food so that his mother was most unhappy. You know, of course, that they eat swallows' nests in China, and there sat his mother with a whole plate full of swallows' nests, trying to feed him. Now, little Peter, she said, come, we'll eat a swallow's nest for Daddy. But Peter just shut his mouth tight and shook his head. At last, Haishang was so angry that he said that no new food should be prepared for Peter until he had eaten a swallow's nest for Daddy. And when Haishang said something, that was that. The same swallow's nest rolled in and out of the kitchen from May until October. On the 14th of July, his mother begged to be allowed to give Peter a couple of meatballs, but Haishang said no. Nonsense, said the girl in the road. Yes, that's just what Haishang said, continued Pippi. Nonsense, he said. It's perfectly plain that the child can eat the swallow's nest if he'll only stop being so stubborn. But Peter kept his mouth shut tight from May to October. But how could he live? Asked Thomas, astonished. He couldn't live, said Pippi. He died of bland, common, ordinary pig-headedness the 18th of October and was buried the 19th. And on the 20th, a swallow flew in through the window and laid an egg in the nest, which was standing on a stable. So it came in handy after all. No harm done, said Pippi happily. Then she looked thoughtfully at the bewildered girl, who still stood in the road. Why do you look so funny? Asked Pippi. What's the matter? You don't really think that I'm sitting here telling lies, don't you? Just tell me if you do, said Pippi threateningly, and rolled up her sleeves. Oh no, indeed, said the girl, terrified. I don't really mean that you are lying, but... No, said Pippi, but it's just what I'm doing. I'm lying so my tongue is turning black. Do you really think that a child can live without food from May to October? To be sure, I know they can get along without food for 3 or 4 months, all right. But from May to October, it's just foolish to think that. You must know that's a lie. You mustn't let people fool you so easily. Then the girl left without turning around again. People will believe everything, said Pippi to Thomas and Annika. From May until October. That's ridiculous. Then she called after the girl. No, we haven't seen your papa. We haven't seen a single bald-headed person all day. But yesterday, 17 of them went by, arm in arm. The realm of imagination, particularly that of Pippi and children in general, is remarkably rich and awe-inspiring. The conversation was engaging, but the climbing games have yet to begin. Let's wait to hear more in the next part. Today's story time is over. I wish my little loves a good night's sleep. I kiss you long on your forehead. See you again next time.